Hello guys and welcome back. So now we're going to create the actual smoke sim using the smoke debris source as the emitter. But first I want to increase the density because it's very hard to see the volume at the moment. So I'm going to use a volume wrangle. I'm going to say F at density multiply equal by 10. Okay, cool. So this is our domain. This is our source. I'm going to create a dot network, call this smoke trail sim, and let's dive inside. We need the smoke solver, and we need a smoke object, and we need a gas resize field fluids dynamic, and we need a source volume node. We need a gravity, we need a ground plane, and a static object for the collision. Let's combine these two guys, and let's merge this. Actually, let's add another merge here to keep things clean, and let's increase the domain of the smoke object. Set this to 9, 7, and 10. And let's move this up a bit. And it's going to resize after a few frames, so we'll leave that there. I'm gonna lower the subtract threshold, increase the padding to give it more room, and then under the max bound I want to turn that off. I don't want it to be limited to this. So let's go back up here and create a null. Call this out smoke source. Create an object merge. Let's dive inside. Okay, cool. Let's hit play. And that's what we have. So our first setup. I'm gonna delay the gas resize by 1 frame, just to give it some time. Maybe 1 is not enough. Let's set it to 2, and let's lower the resolution to 0.1. At the moment, it's quite low res. Cool. So you can see that even with a padding of 1. We're still getting clipping here, and I don't want that. And the best way to fix this is by providing our own bounding box information. So let's go back up. I'm gonna create a scatter node and scatter some points onto the source itself, and then create a bound node out of that. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Call this out smoke bounds. Dive inside, and then here under the bounds I'm going to say tracking object from SOPs. I'm going to paste the path there, and now that should give it a much better information on where it needs to how it needs to expand. I'm going to go back here and give it a padding of 1 on all axes just to give it more room. Okay, let's go back and tweak a few things. So first of all, I want to add some turbulence and things like that to the sim. So first of all, I'm gonna add a gas turbulence node. I like to layer a few of them, so I'm gonna add a merge node, and let's copy this. I want to create a small and a big swirls. So the first one is swirl size set to 2, and the second one I'm going to give it a very small swirl size and a stronger intensity, stronger scale. And then I'm going to add a gas confinement, vortex confinement. And this is going to not boost. Confinement. gas vortex confinement, and this is going to boost any vorticity or turbulence in the sim. So I'm going to set that to 3, and then I also want to add a gas dissipate, and I prefer to add that after the source itself, as a post process after everything is done. So there, and this is in the velocity update. All good. And then for the dissipation, and this is just so that the trail, they don't live forever, they dissipate over time. So play. Okay, and one last thing which we haven't done is the static object. So I'm going to grab them from somewhere. Grab these two guys. Okay. And let's dive inside and fill in the static object. So use deforming object, subpath is that, volume sample is this, and let's go back. Cool. And let's hide everything else. So I'm not sure why the viewport is still displaying the particles. Sometimes it's a glitch in the viewport, so I'm gonna simply close it and reopen it again. Okay, I'm gonna hide the object. I don't want to see the collision so that the viewport is faster. Okay, let it run for a few more frames. I'm waiting for that emission, that big emission to happen. It looks like something is not working right. I'm not so sure yet. I need to wait for a couple more frames. I was hoping to see more smoke falling down for sure. I think the collision is not doing the right thing here. So I'm gonna disable it for the moment, and everything looks good here. Checking my original file to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Yeah, everything looks good. So I'm gonna turn off the static object for now, and let's hit play. So these guys at least should not, yeah, we should get that dripping behavior. And then with the collision, I think it's working. Yeah, it's working. I'm not so sure what happened the first time, but it looks like it's working now. So I'm gonna run this at a higher resolution, and let's check. So for the high-res version, I'm gonna set this to 0.05, and I'm going to go up and DOP import fields. I'm going to import this guy. And I'm going to set this to smoke, and I just need the density, that's all. Cool, so I'm going to write this to disk, and then we'll continue in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.